Hi there YouTube, it's me, TFR Wilderness. Welcome to my channel and welcome to this month's end of month bot haul, where I show you all the Transformer related items that I've picked up throughout the month. Because I'm a habitual collector and yeah, I like to collect Transformers. Right, so yeah, I've fairly modest haul this month. Got, what is it, 5 Voyagers, Deluxe, Leader Class, couple of small stuff and a load of comics. So yeah, without further ado, let's get cracking, shall we? So as per usual, I will try to do these in chronological order, you know, the order in which they arrived. So yeah, let's get started. So placed my orders at the beginning of the month. Did my usual Korean sort of orders online, purchasing off eBay. You know, little mini Korean figures. Because the reason being I'm buying these mini Korean figures at the moment is because on the 2nd of the month I've got that third and final, or I had that third and final pre-order payment for the Legacy Evolution Titan class Nemesis that I have pre-ordered from In Demand, and I decided to buy it through the new PayPal Pay in Free system, where you do 3 equal payments over 3 calendar months. And on the 2nd of this month, that was the first, well, it was the final payment. So that's all paid off now. So I've just got to wait for it to come in. I notice I got a notification from Hasbro Pulse to say they've got their Nemesis in stock. So hopefully In Demand will get their stock in soon, and I hopefully will get mine delivered in the next couple of weeks. Hopefully before TF Nation, but we'll have to wait and see about that. Anyway, so also going into this month, I also noticed there was some comics that sort of came up on eBay that I wanted to make a play on, but a little bit more on that later when I actually get to those items. Decided to place an order for a couple of bots that I'd got my eye on Comics and Cocktails, and they arrived on the 12th, which was the first arrival to come. And starting off with this guy. Now I've done an unboxing on the package. Obviously this is the new Studio Series, Gamer Series, Voyager, War for Cybertron, Optimus Prime. Now I wanted to get this guy mainly because, you know, I've got the original toy. I managed to get from John Garringer many years ago. I bought it off him when he was selling off part of his collection to fund because he had a dog called Rodimus who was sick with cancer, and he was trying to, you know, pay the vet's bill to give it some comfort in its final days. So he had to raise some money. So he sold off some of his collection. I noticed he had a War for Cybertron Optimus Prime, which I wanted. Bought it. Absolutely amazing figure. I love this mould. Bit small, you know, should have been a Voyager, but very, very complex. You know, nice sturdy plastic. Nice transformational trap on this thing. There's a bit where the chest bit swings round. If you don't know about it, when you transform it, you get stuck halfway through the transformation, and then it takes you a while to figure out where it's going. But I really love this thing. I'm not a huge fan of vanilla Optimus Prime, but there are a few Optimus Prime molds that are really good. I'd like to get a black version of this. I know it exists, but it's an exclusive and very expensive and hard to find. But yeah, so there's that. So obviously a new one's come out. So decided to get this. It's all right. It's okay. Doesn't feel quite as solid or as substantial as the original figure. It's all right though. The transformation isn't quite as involved on this one. It's got a few different sort of twists and turns. It has got one bit that's you twizzle round, but it's not that bad really. It's got a bit of hollowness, and there's a big gaping hole in the back of the vehicle mode when it's in alt mode, but it does peg together quite firmly and securely, and I'm reasonably pleased with this. It's a pretty good update of the original mold for the most part. I'm quite happy with it. Don't know whether I'll be going for any more of the these Studio Series Gamer Series figures. I might get the Cliff Jumper. Not bothered with the Bumblebee. Not going to bother with the Barricade because I've heard some bad things about that. Not going to bother with the Megatron because I've got the Takara original. I'm good, you know. I've got the Takara original one. So yeah. decent bot. Glad I bought it. So that was the first purchase to arrive this month from Comics and Cocktails. Studio Series, Gamer Series, Voyager, War for Cybertron, Optimus Prime. And another figure from Comics and Cocktails that I ordered in the same order. Arrived on the same day, on the 12th. Legacy Evolution G2 Toxitron Series cloud cover. Now, I haven't got Ramjet. I haven't got the Earthrise sort of Voyager Ramjet mold. Did get the Sandstorm repaint of this when it came out a while back. I've got that, the Generation Select Sandstorm, because that looked really cool. They've done it again with this repaint, haven't they? I love the way this thing looks. I love the colours. I mean, I like the fact that he's got like the checkerboard in his air intakes up here. I like the fact that they've painted up his chest vents to make him look like he's got double chest vents. I like that as well. That looks cool. And the light blue and the white, really, really cool. He's got like that digital camo on the back of his plane mode. Really, really cool. And, the Earthrise Seeker mould, it's a great mould. It's like a modern retake of the Classics mould, just scaled up with a few extra, engineering bells and whistles. This is no exception. Great figure. I will say the hip joints are a bit notchy, but apart from that, he's pretty cool. Some of the paint apps, the application of these checkers, when you look at them really close, they're a little blotchy, but it's not too bad. It looks all right at a distance, and yeah, it's again a great figure and a repaint of a mold that I've already got. But when it looks this good, I can't resist. I'm sorry, but yeah. So that's and it's part of this this sort of G2 Toxitron series. That's good. Is it an Amazon exclusive? They're doing all these figures in these lurid G2 colours. They've got the Toxitron. They got that G2 Jazz. What else are they doing? They're doing a whole bunch of them. But anyway, I decided to go for this guy because he looks super cool. So that's Generations, sort of G2 Legacy Evolution cloud cover. Right. So then the next thing, kind of a bit of story time now. Going a while back, we had the reveals of those two box sets. You had the what was it called? The Rise of Tyranny 2-pack with Voyager Megatron, Minor Megatron, and Voyager Senator Ratbat, and then you had the Humble Beginnings 2-pack with Voyager Senator Shockwave and Deluxe Data Clerk Orion packs. Now I looked at these and I thought, well, I want that Senator Ratbat so bad. So when the pre-orders went up, I went up to Hasbro Pulse and I saw the price for the Rise of Tyranny 2-pack, so £70.99. And I thought, 70 quid for two Voyager figures, that's a little bit steep. I know they're sort of exclusive repaints, and I've already got the Siege Megatron mold. I've got the original Siege one down here, and I also got that Generation Select G2 Megatron repaint, the Earthrise mold. So I've already got that Megatron mold twice, but it does look so good in those the minor Megatron colours. So I looked around and I noticed on Amazon that they were doing it for £50. What was it, £55.99? And I thought, hell yeah, I'm going to buy it off Amazon a lot cheaper, like 15 quid cheaper than they're doing it off Hasbro Pulse. So I placed my order on Amazon, didn't think anything of it. Then more recent times, there's been these reports coming out of being a big mix-up or sort of a pricing error on these packs, because now the thing is, they come in these shipping boxes and they have this serial number on here. Now apparently what's been happening is these boxes have been getting mixed up. They've put the wrong pack in the wrong box, and the serial number on here has been the incorrect one for the pack that you've ordered. And as a result of which, on Amazon they were showing the wrong pack. They were showing the Rise of Tyranny 2-pack at the price point for the Humble Beginnings 2-pack, and I think the other one was the other way round. Now I didn't really twig to this until coming into the beginning of this month, where I had checked up on my Amazon order, and I noticed that the icon, the picture, had changed from the Rise of Tyranny 2-pack to the Humble Beginnings 2-pack, and I thought, so yeah, I've been caught up in this mix-up with the with the product numbers on the boxes and the pricing errors. So yeah, so I took a decision. I said, right, okay. So I went on Amazon and cancelled my old order, went on to Hasbro Pulse, bought the Rise of Trilogy, the Legacy Evolution Rise of Tyranny 2-pack off Hasbro Pulse for full price, and yeah, I got these guys. So let's have a quick chat about this guy first. Minor Megatron. Looks amazing. Obviously, he's in his dark colours rather than the silver. He's in the dark grey. It's got all the warning stripes all over to say that he's like a worker. He's got like the pickaxe thing and the drill thing. His tank mode is basically his tank, but without the fusion cannon. It's just got this extra bit, this drill thing that sticks out the front. It's all right. It's the Siege Megatron mold again. Like I said, this is my third variant of it. It's all right. I mean, I like the look of Minor Megatron. I like the fact that Origins Megatron is a thing from the IDW comics, and this looks pretty damn good. I like the way it looks. So even though I got this in the 2-pack, I only really wanted the other guy. This guy came as a Brucey bonus. He's not a bad Brucey bonus. He's actually pretty good. He has got a few issues. When he doesn't really stand up that well. He likes to lean backwards. I don't know whether it's because of the feet, don't go forwards properly. I don't know. He always seems to like leaning back slightly. Don't know why that is. I suppose if I mess around with it, I'll be able to figure something out. Usually you have to sort of lean his torso forward a bit. But no, it's all right. It's okay. It transforms just the same as you would the Siege figure. But yeah, so I finally got it. Got it from Hasbro Pulse, not Amazon. And then the thing I really wanted was this guy. Yeah, the Senator Ratbat. Wow. I mean, these colours, that deep sort of black curranty purple, the glossy black, the gold accents, that sort of squarish sort of toaster head he's got. I love it. I love Senator Ratbat. This is the third version of this character that I've got. I bought the Mastermind Creations reformatted Ultio. I've got him, and then I said I really wanted that Takara, that Takara repaint of the classic Scourge mold of Senator Ratbat, and sure enough, Dorian McQuarrie, Mr. Vigadef, sorted me out. He contacted me on WhatsApp and says, "Oh, I've got one you can have, and I can sell you." And he sold it me at a really good price, so I've got that one as well. So I've got three Senator Ratbats in my collection now, and I've also got a KO of the Masterpiece Ratbat. But he's a cassette, he's a mini cassette, not a proper, sort of bot. I like the fact they did this. I really do. The only thing is, it looks great in this mold. Don't get me wrong. The Studio Series 86, Scourge mold suits him very well, but I'm not a fan of this mold particularly, mainly because the transformation on it is so dull, so boring. It's just you just sort of plug the legs together, you pull the shoulders down, plug them into the legs, you then pull the head back, and then you basically just open the wings and just fold it around to form the flying shoe. I'm so disappointed when I first had my hands on with the Studio Series 86 Scourge mold. I mean, everybody was raving about it, and then when I got it in hand, it was like, is that it? Is that all it does? And I can't remember what it says on the box, but it says it had something like 20 odd steps, and it's like, there ain't that many steps to it. But anyway, yeah, he's that mold, but it's the character. I bought it for the character. I mean, it's Senator Ratbat. He looks absolutely amazing in these colours. I'm a sucker for this, this glorious, sort of black curranty purple that he's got. He looks like he's gone for a swim in a vat of Ribena or something. He looks amazing. So yeah, I wanted to get this guy. Very happy that I managed to get him. Yeah, obviously I almost got caught up in that little mix-up thing with the packaging and the pricing of this pack. You know, I very nearly got the other one. The other pack, I wouldn't mind that Senator Shockwave. He looks kind of interesting in that modified, you know, Tetrajet mold. The Data Clerk Orion packs, not that bothered about him, to be honest. But I got the pack that I wanted, so that was the main thing. So they arrived on the 13th. Then on the 14th, the next package arrived. My Hello Carbot, my Korean packages. Now, as I said, because I'd been, you know, working under this this pre-order payment thing for my with PayPal, this free monthly, you know, pre-order payment thing. It was like it was taking £66 out of my monthly budget every month. So it meant I was, you know, I was running at a disadvantage, and so I was looking to save money. And one way I saved money this month was to, instead of buying the big Korean figures, which are really expensive, I bought some of the little ones, which are a lot cheaper. So they arrived together. I've done reviews on them. First one is this guy, Hello Carbot Mini Converster. He's not very good. I mean, you look at the way his arms work, all that, you know, waffling and hollowness in his arms. It's a shame that, you know, I know they have these simplified engineering. The original figure is a one-step changer. You know, you basically just pull the arms out and it all folds out, and it's got no articulation on the legs whatsoever. But it's a big leader class figure with no articulation on the legs. Looks amazing, but, you know, you can't do anything with the legs. It's got a bit of an arm articulation. It's brightly coloured and painted, but, you know, it is what it is. This guy at least has got, you know, he's got working knees, he's got working hips, you know, so he's got articulated legs, which is more than the big figure has. He also has his weapon that plugs into his chest. That's like this sort of boomerang-like thing, which in the show is actually like a drone that flies around, because he Converster, because he's in like a drop-top Italian sports car, you know, he transforms into. He fancies himself as a bit of a playboy, you know. He's always his drone's always going around taking photographs of him, you know, in you know, sort of heroic poses. So yeah, it's he's all right, but that, you know, you can take the arms off and turn them round, and it gives it a slightly different look. But that hollowness in the arms, and also being a Hello Carbot minifigure, it's like lacking paint apps. So that's just part of the course, these things. So yeah, I'm not really impressed with this guy, to be honest. And got him, so he was a thing. And then the other figure that arrived in the same pack is this. It's Hello Carbot Mini Beat Run. Now, Beat Run, like Converster, he was like a one-step quick changer figure, the large figure. You know, you basically you took the arms, pulled the arms out, swiveled them round, and his chest all pops up, and his head, and then, you know, his legs just separate, and then you have to flip down some heel panels, and there you are. This robot mode looks a lot better than the other one. It's a lot more like the proper robot mode. Lacking paint apps again, but this guy, he looks good in alt mode, but again, lacking paint apps. Looks good in robot mode, could use some paint apps. The shoulders on this guy are a bit weird. They're kind of okay. You know, you can. He's got the two guns that he comes with that plug into his shoulders and into his hands, but because of the way the engineering's been designed, you know, the ball joints, there's limited clearance for the shoulders to move. They sort of hit the spoiler, and yeah, and mine initially had a burr or something on one of the ball joints, or the ball joint was misshapen, so it wasn't working properly. It seems to be working okay now, but yeah, again, he's got articulation on his legs, you know, so he's got one up on the full size figure. Needs more paint, and also, like I said, the engineering on the shoulders, I'm not a huge fan of that, but in some ways he's better than Converster, and in other ways he's not. So they're both a mixed bag, really. But I managed to get him, so he arrived as well. And also, something else I got from these guys was this. So he threw this into the package. It's one of those crappy little Micromaster things that Sir Toys used to throw into his international packages, because he had like a mountain of these like little crappy little. It's one of those. It's like a little blue dump truck, and it's got a very simple transformation. You just sort of pull the legs up and put the arms out, and you're done. It's so naff, it's so crappy. I was trying to find out what character it is. I don't think it's any character. I think this is a made up one. I don't know. I'm not sure if the legs, because I mean, you pull the legs like that, and then you can pull them right up to make him like really lanky. He's got like a monoblock leg. He's got little arms. No paint as such. Has got pinned wheels, but that's about all you can say about it. But it was a freebie. I got it for nothing. I wasn't expecting it. He just threw it in as a bonus. I've added it into my collection. He's naff, he's crap, but I can't say that he's the worst thing I got this month, because I didn't order him, I didn't buy him, I got sent him and he's a freebie, so I can't hate him for that. And that's that. Right, okay. So we're 20 minutes in. Let's move on to the next bit. Right. Story time. Now we're going to have to backtrack a little bit, because like I said, I've just shown you the first 3 arrivals, which was the Comics and Cocktails order on the 12th, and then the Hasbro Pulse order on the 13th, and then my eBay Hello Carbots mini order, which came on the 14th. But coming into this month, obviously you know that I've been collecting these Marvel G1 comics. Back in the day when I was a kid, I used to collect the Marvel G1 comics, right from the issue 1 up to issue 199, which I think was like February 1989, 1988, 89, something like that. And I that was my world as a kid. My Transformers world was the Marvel G1 comics. I wasn't a fan of the cartoon series. I didn't have much in the way of toys, but I religiously bought the comic book. And I had those comics up until the early 90s, when our family moved house from Rugby to Leamington. I got the box out of the loft to flick through them, left them in the corner of this very room, and my parents thought I was chucking them out and got rid of them. And I lost like 200 odd comics like that. And since I've become an adult Transformers collector, I'm kind of harking back, or I've got certain nostalgia from the Marvel G1 comics, and I did sort of get into collecting the IDW comics for a while, because people told me how good and great the IDW comics were, and I managed to buy a job lot of them, and I sort of got all the issues of what was it, More Than Meets the Eye, and what was the other one, RID, Robots in Disguise. Anyway, I got the 2 main issues runs, and I carried on with them up until the point whereby they, Hasbro decreed that the old IDW continuity had to be wound up, and they were going to reboot the series. So that continuity ended, and then they started the new one. And I only ran with that for a little while, because I got screwed around with my local comic shop, and I said, bugger this for a game of soldiers. I'm out. I quit the comics. Sort of got into the Beast Wars comics the other year, but then they said IDW's lost the license, and it's all gone down the toilet. So yeah, it was a thing. So I thought, I really want to get back my Marvel G1 comics, and this process started at TF Nation last year. So it's almost a year since I started doing this for real. And so at TF Nation last year on the Sunday afternoon, Mr. Bricabrax I noticed he had a bunch of Marvel G1 comics on his store, and I bought 2 lots of comics off him. I bought a lot of about 30 comics, and then 16 comics, and that gave me a start on this process of buying back all the comics I had as a kid. Now I knew this was going to be a very long, arduous, time-consuming and expensive process to buy back all the comics I had as a kid, but over the preceding months, or the last couple of months, or since TF Nation last year, every month I've been buying comics. You've seen them in these very videos, and I got to the point now where I was like, I'm only like nearly just got 20 issues to go, and they're always the first 10 and 20 series ones and issue 2, of course. So I was missing about 18 comics. And now I could have bought these comics off my usual comic dealer that I've been buying my comics from, which is a woman by the name of Susanna Carter on eBay. And she has loads and loads and loads of the Marvel G1 comics. She sells them individually, but you can go into a shop, you can add them to your basket, and then she has like a single shipping price of £3. The more you buy, the cheaper it is for shipping, and you can buy the comics. I've been buying a lot of the comics through her, but the early issues, the 10 series and the 20 series, she's asking like 15, 20, 25 quid for these comics. And I worked it out. If I'd have bought all those comics, or if I tried to buy all those comics through her, it would have cost me nearly 300 quid to buy those like 20 odd comics through her. So I wasn't really looking forward to doing it, and I was gonna buy them piecemeal every month, buy a couple every month, and just spread it out that way. But at the beginning of this month, something happened. A different seller on eBay put a couple of auctions up, 3 auction lots. First auction lot had 4 comics in it, issue 9 to 12. Then there was a second auction lot with issues 13 to 18, that was it. And then there was a final lot which was 19 to 29. So those 3 comic lots had all the comics in that I needed for the 10 and the 20 series, plus some duplicates. And they had starting bids of like 10, 15 quid on them. And I thought, I've got to make a play on these. So the auction was ended on a Thursday afternoon, or Thursday morning. I think the timings for them, they were about 11 minutes apart, these auctions. They were, I think it was either, was it 40? I can't remember the timings. It was either 11 in the morning or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Might have been 11 o'clock in the morning, actually. I think it was 11:33. No, it was 11:22, 11:33 and 11:44. That was it. And so I booked the day off work. I was on my phone on the bed, the dining room table. I was poised to buy them, and I knew how much these comics would have cost to buy through this other seller that I buy from. So I put some fairly generous bids in. Unfortunately, there wasn't much competition for the bids towards the end, and I managed to win all 3 auctions for a reasonable sum of money. All 3 auctions together, when I paid for them, came to just over 100 quid. It's about 106 quid, including the postage. Anyway, so I won them. So I thought, yeah, I've almost got all the comics now. Anyway, so move forward a couple of days. Seller ships them out, and they shipped them via Parcelforce. Now, I didn't know this at first. Now, if I'd have known that they were going to ship them through Parcelforce, I'd have said not to, because I've had problems with Parcelforce before. I've had issues with them. They're one of the few courier firms that I have problems with, and they really outdid themselves this time. Let me tell you. So anyway, where are they? Right. They first attempted to deliver it on Tuesday the 11th of July. I came home from work, and a card was waiting for me. Now on the card, it's got a thing that says to be redelivered the next day. So they took the package back to the depot to deliver it the following day. Now on here, it's also got with a neighbour at local post office, returned to depot for collect or left in a safe place. Now I have a safe place because I'm always out at work during the week when packages get delivered. I have a safe place that I leave open. There's a note in the door. The Parcelforce courier did not do that. He didn't ask a neighbour. He didn't leave it in the safe place. He just took it back to the depot for redelivery the following day. So on the Wednesday morning, this is the day after, I went on to there's a telephone number on here somewhere that you can ring. Yeah, there's a telephone number at the back there. You ring that number, you get this automated, computerized thing saying, press 1 for this, press 2 for that. and I eventually got through to the redelivery section. So I arranged a redelivery. In the process of making my redelivery, I messed up. Now I'd seen my boss and managed to book the Thursday off work. So I'd arranged for the redelivery on the Thursday, which was the day after. But in putting my details in, I screwed up. I got a bit of a brain fart when I was putting in my my mobile phone number, and I put in the wrong dialing code. And so they would have sent the notifications for my redelivery to the wrong phone number if it worked at all. So I was a bit worried about that. So anyway, that was the Wednesday. When I got home, there was another card waiting for me. So they tried to deliver it again. I wasn't in. So this time, they took it back to the local post office. So instead of taking it back to taking it back to the depot and redelivering it the following day, they took it back to the local post office, which is just down the road. Now, again, it's got the tracking code. It's got the address of the post office, which is just down the road. I was a bit annoyed about this, but I'd bought the Thursday off work, so I thought, okay, I've been given a redelivery code, right? I've been given a redelivery code. They're going to redeliver it on the Thursday. So I thought, anyway, so I bought the Thursday off. I was off work on the Thursday, waiting for a delivery. The Thursday, which was it was the 13th, and it was the day that my Hasbro Pulse package arrived. That package arrived, but my comic package didn't. So I could have gone down to the post office on the Thursday and picked my package up. But I thought, well, now that it's down the post office, it can sit there for a couple of days. And Friday afternoon, which I have half day, I can go down and pick it up on the Friday afternoon. Or so I thought. So anyway, I checked the tracking code the following morning, and it said a package has been collected from the local post office. Recipient didn't collect it, and then they tried to deliver it again. So I got another card on the Friday morning when I came home, and it says here, it says return to depot to collect. And then when I went onto the website and put the tracking code in and went into the tracking details, it said recipient has denied or what did it say? It said the recipient has denied delivery 3 times and failed to pick it up from we are now returning it to sender. So they were going to send it back to the sender because I hadn't been in to collect it, but I was out at work. So anyway, the Friday I went up to the post office, had a word with the postie clerk at the post office. He said he remembered the package, and he said the courier will be coming back Friday afternoon. So he says he should have it on his van, so I can have a word with him and I can hold it for you, and you can come and pick it up later. And I gave him my mobile number, and he said I'll give you a ring when I've got it. It was raining. I'd walked downtown with a brolly because it was raining. Then when I got back home, I remembered I had an appointment at the doctor's at 2:30 because that was the time that he said that the courier would be coming back round between sort of like 2:30 and 3. And I had an appointment at the doctor's for an asthma assessment. And so I went back down to the post office for the second time and said, oh yeah, by the way, I forgot I'm going to be at the doctor's this afternoon. So sorry, I forgot to mention it. So he said, yeah, okay. So I went to the doctor's, came back from the doctor's, went home. Time ticked by, no call from the postie clerk at the post office. So about 4:30, I went down to the post office and had a word with him. And he said the courier, he said he couldn't leave it. He had been ordered to take it back to the depot because they were returning it to the sender. Then he suggested to me that I went on the website and arranged for a redelivery to have it redelivered on the Monday to the post office. So when I got home, went on the website again, blah, blah, blah. Did the redelivery thing. Yes, I want my item redelivered, but this time I want it sent to the post office. And they gave me another redelivery code. So I had a second redelivery code. So I had second redelivery code to have it redelivered. To the I'm sorry this story's going on a long time. I'm really sorry about this, but I've got to explain what happened with these comics. Anyway, so Saturday morning, all right? Oh yeah, when I was doing the second redelivery on the website, I noticed it gave me a list of dates. It gave me a list of dates that I could have chosen for my redelivery. To have it delivered on a working weekday, no charge. But if you have it redelivered on a Saturday morning, there is a £12 surcharge. So Saturday delivery requires a £12 surcharge. And I says, no way am I paying a £12 surcharge. So I arranged to have it redelivered to the post office on the Monday. I could go pick it up after work. Saturday morning, I went shopping, as I do. Saturday morning, early Saturday morning, I go to shop at the local Sainsbury's. Came back home, and I was doing some paperwork because there's something I like to do twice a month. It concerns my videos on the YouTube. I like to make a note of the viewing figures on my most viewed videos on my channels. I do it twice a month. It's a little thing that I do, but I was doing that, and then there's a knock at the door. I get to the door, and then Postie hands me a package, and I said, "All right, okay." He was about to get into his van. I said, whoa, wait a minute. So I went over and had a word with him. Now, package has got Saturday delivery slapped on it. And I said to him, I says, this has been delivered on a Saturday. Am I going to get charged 12 quid for this delivery? He says, well, I don't know, mate. I'm just delivering it. And then I asked him, I says, right, okay, can you tell me why you didn't leave it in my safe place? And then he said to me, he says, it's company policy not to leave packages in safe places anymore because Parcelforce have been have had lots of instances where they've been scammed by customers whose packages have got lost or stolen, and then they claim the money back off Parcelforce. And to stop that from happening, they refuse, or the point blank, to leave packages in safe places anymore. Right. When I heard that, it was like I couldn't help thinking about That's Life, Esther Ranson's That's Life, a show that used to run on I think it was BBC back in the 80s and 90s. It was like a consumer, sort of like a consumer person's show where they used to, people used to, talk to about, and then it's kind of hard to explain. But anyway, they had this thing called the Jobsworth Award, that they would award to companies that have been gone above and beyond to follow the rules, even when it would have been easier just to turn a blind eye and just do the job in the first place. And in my opinion, Parcelforce have won, or in my opinion, they've earned the Jobsworth Award for the second week of July 2023, because they were being complete and utter Jobsworth. They refused to leave my package in the safe place. They kept taking it back to the depot. I wasn't at home. They were saying I was refusing delivery when I wasn't. I just wasn't home. Yada, yada, yada. I had a right nightmare to get it. But anyway, the package finally arrived, and it's like it had this redelivery request on it. It's got all the convenient delivery, Saturday delivery. It's got all the notes on it to say when it was redelivered. So yeah, that was fun. So what did I actually get? Right. So here they are. Here are the comics. Right. So the first comic lot is here. So we've got issue number 9, which is the start of the Man of Iron storyline. This is a duplicate. I've already got issue 9, so this is one that I will be moving on at some point. Then there's issue 10. Then issue 11. These are all the Man of Iron storyline, and by the way, and I think this is the final part of the Man of Iron storyline. This issue. They're in decent condition, these comics. I mean, obviously they're old comics. Some of them have got the they've still got the calendars in, which is good. Yeah, so that was the first auction lot. Then the second auction lot. So we've got Number 13. So this was the Enemy Within storyline. Yeah, start of the Enemy Within storyline. Then issue 14. Issue 15. Now these ones had something stuck on the front, so there's a bit of damage where the Transformers badges were taken off, and the tapes just ripped the covers a little bit. But apart from that, they're all intact. And number 16. Now number 17 is a duplicate. I've already got issue 17, but you know, that's another one that I've got that I can pass on to somebody else at some point. And then issue number 18, so that's more or less all the 10 series done. And then the final auction, which was the big one, 11 comics. So we've got 19, 20, 21, where Megatron does that thing where he taps into the black, you know, the dark matter of a black hole, and because he was cornered, and he does that thing. This is the first time it actually happened in a comic where he channels the dark matter from the heart of a black hole, and it just destroys everything in its path, and that's how he dealt with the DJD in Dying of the Light. So yeah, yep, got that one. So that's 21. 22, again, it's a duplicate. I got this one recently, but then again, look at that cover. That's got the iconic Shockwave Are All Dead cover on it. Yeah, so that's a good one. I've got a duplicate of that. 23. 24, another duplicate. 25. 26, Warrior Skull, one of my favourite sort of Ratchet storylines from the Marvel G1 comic. Now, this one, 27, it's, you can see this one's all falling apart. Now, I'll probably have to get a duplicate of this one. I can get a better quality duplicate. This one's fallen to bits, the spine's all gone, it's got a rip in it there. So yeah, I'll probably be getting a replacement for this. But this 29 is a bit tatty. It's probably the worst condition one out of the whole lot that I got, but it's still readable. And 28. And then 29. So there we go. There's all the comics, and that is now thanks to the influx of these comics, I am now only one comic short of getting the whole 199 comics I had as a kid, and that is issue 2. And yeah, I've secured an issue 2. Literally yesterday, there was one on eBay. I managed to get it for starting bid, 40 quid plus postage, issue 2. You will see it next month. I have secured issue 2, so we're almost there, people. We've almost accomplished the mission I set out to do. So that's the comic lot. I know it's a big story time, you know, trying to explain what happened with my comics. I'm hoping you sat with it and understand my frustration in trying to get this package delivered, you know. But I finally got them, and now I'm like one comic away from completing my challenge of getting all the Transformers comics I had as a kid. Great. Right, so that's that done. I've only got a few things left, so let's wrap this thing up. Right, so they arrived on the 15th, and then it was a few more days before the next thing arrived. Right, so I decided to go out on a little toy hunt, because I really wanted to get hold of a Studio Series, you know, Rise of the Beasts Leader Class Scourge. I really wanted to get hold of one. Now, I was looking online, and I wanted to get one for $49.99 because, again, I'm trying to save money because I was at a disadvantage with my budget this month because of that pre-order payment at the beginning of the month for £66. But all the cheap ones have gone. They've all sold out. You know, so Comics and Cocktails were doing it for $49.99. That's sold out. In Demand, we're doing them for $49.99. They've sold out as well. So I thought, well, I want to get it. Now, I looked on my local Smiths and it said that they didn't have it in stock, but I decided to go over Smiths anyway to have a look. And I was in Smiths and I was looking at the toys up there and it says I can't see Scourge. And then I looked up and like 7 or 8 shelves up there was a Scourge just poking out. And I couldn't quite reach it, so I had to grab a toy sword or something from one of the other aisles, and I just reached up and... Or was it my pen in my pocket? I think it was a pen in my pocket. I reached up and I just teased it off the shelf and managed to bring it down. And yeah, so I managed to get hold of a Studio Series Scourge. And there he is. Paid full price for him at Smiths, $55.99. Wow, I love this thing. This thing is so good. I mean, he looks like a badass. I mean, the trucks are like a Mad Max truck. The robot is a Mad Max robot. He's a complete nutter badass in the movie, isn't he? Let's face it. He's a herald of Unicron, blah blah blah. And he likes collecting the faction symbols of all the bots that he kills. And this toy though, this figure, I got it and I started messing with it, and he's got an interesting transformation, like a transformational trap, but on the sword arm, you can pull it out, and it's on this link. But I was trying to, doing the alt mode. I thought, where the hell does the sword go? Because you fold it in half, but where the hell does the sword go? And I couldn't figure out where it went, and I got stumped by it. I couldn't figure out how to do it. So then I had to do that thing which I don't like doing, and that was look at the instructions. And of course, it's got this extra link that comes out from inside his arm. That means that that is in the right position to go between his legs and peg between his legs. And once you figure that out, the rest of it is it's like butter. Yeah, the transformation on this thing took a little while for me to get my head around it, but now that I have, I absolutely love it. It's so great. He's big, he's imposing. His alt mode is good. It's got a few hollow bits. I've watched some videos where people are complaining, oh, he's full of hollowness, oh, he's got loose joints, oh, he's got a hinge that cracks, in the back, blah, blah, blah. I haven't got any issues with mine. Mine's actually totally solid. And I'm absolutely blown away with this. The more I mess with it, the more I love it. I've been flipping this thing backwards and forwards no end of times. And it plugs together so beautifully and securely. And the truck mode's lovely and solid. And once you get your head around the transformation, it's clever, it's ingenious, it's great, it's fun, it's engaging, it's everything that I want in a figure, really. And he looks cool. He's a badass in the movie, as we know, and he's a really awesome figure, and I absolutely love this thing. I love it to bits. He's absolutely awesome. So yeah, so Studio Series 101. Rise of the Beast, Leader Class Scourge. Go figure, he's absolutely amazing. And then, just to finish things off, something that happened towards the end of the month. Now I did that thing with the Hasbro Pulse thing before with my Rise of the Tyranny 2-pack, where I cancelled the Amazon order, which was $55.99, and I bought the right pack off Hasbro Pulse at $70.99, so it's 15 quid dearer. So I did that, and that took a little bite out of my remaining budget. So I didn't have a lot of money left towards the end. And of course, then you had the convention reveals on Hasbro Pulse, and then they showed that Shattered Glass 2-pack with Rodimus and Sideswipe. And I want that Rodimus. I'm a sucker for a black Rodimus, or Rodimus Unicronus or whatever, all about the goatee. And yeah, so the pre-order went up. I think it was the Sunday morning. Well, last Sunday morning, it was Sunday the 23rd. I think the order went up on Hasbro Pulse pre-order for that thing, and I thought I've got to have it. So, boom, I bought it. Went over budget to buy it. So. Anyway, it arrived the other day, And yeah. Shutterglass Rodimus, yes. It's the Studio Series 86 Hot Rod mould, which I've got, just done in black, and a few extra accessories, and he's got, you know, robotic facial hair. I'm a sucker for a black Rodimus, and had to get it. Had a bit of a problem transforming it, even though I've played with the mould before. I really struggled to pull the car apart. It was plugged together very firmly. There was a few bits that weren't pegging together properly, but apart from that, I mean, it's still an amazing figure, and just on looks alone, wow. I love the way this thing looks, and he's got like the fluorescent, well, the transparent red pizza cutter. Yeah, I love this thing. I like it a lot. I don't necessarily love it because I've had a few niggly little issues with it, but apart from that, he's really, really good. And that's the reason why I bought this pack, was for this guy. But it also comes with a few extras. It's a 2-pack for this guy. So obviously this is Shutterglass Sideswipe, and this is the Earthrise Sideswipe mould. It's not the Cybertronian Sideswipe mould. I've got a version of the Cybertronian or the Siege Sideswipe in Red Alert, but I haven't got a version of the Earthrise Sideswipe or Kingdom Sidewise or whatever one he was in. I think was it Kingdom or no, it was Earthrise, wasn't it? Anyway, I haven't got a version of that. That gives me this mould, and it's in these, wow, these quite frankly lurid, you know, teal colours. These green teal. He's got a different head sculpt. He's got the slash. Now this guy's a double negative because Shutterglass is, you know, it's the Mirrorverse, isn't it? It's like the bad guys are good guys and the good guys are bad guys. So this guy was a bad guy, but now he's turned to a good guy. But he's gone from an Autobot to a Decepticon. So it's like a double negative. It's really weird the way this guy works. But still, I mean, it's a great mould. I mean, we all love the Sideswipe mould from Siege or Earthrise, because it's basically a scaled down masterpiece mould. Really good, looks amazing in these colours, and yeah, I really like him. So he's pretty cool. Glad I got him as well, even though he was a Brucey bonus I got with the figure that I really wanted. But yeah, he's pretty cool. He's got these extra pieces that are kind of like tonfas that he has, but in the shoulder launcher, and he's pretty cool. But there's one more. There's Minicon Whisper. So yeah, he comes with a little Minicon. Now I don't know the full ins and outs of this guy. We've had 2 Minicons now from the Legacy toy line or Generations, whatever, because they've got that Legacy Evolution Hotshot, you know, Powerlink's Hotshot coming, and he comes with what's the helicopter do? Jolt. It comes with Jolt, and he's in a Minicon. Now this guy's a Minicon too, but he transforms into a little stealth bomber, right? Pretty cool. You just sort of fold bits over and fold bits under. And then you have a little stealth bomber. But if you look underneath, he has got a Minicon port, but it's a plug, not a socket, because, hang on. So here's leader 1 off my Armada Megatron, right? You look underneath, there's the Minicon port. It's like a peg with a pin in the middle. And this is it's like a port with a pin in the middle, and this is a peg. So he's like got the opposite. So he can mate. He can mate with other Minicons. So yeah, he's got a reverse Minicon port on him. It's like, I know he has to have a 5mm port that he will plug into the top of the car mode, and or he can plug onto any of the 5mm ports on his arms or his legs, you know, to act as a shield or something. I get that. But, you know, if they're going to do Minicons, the least they could do is have a proper Minicon port. But technically, as this has got like a reverse Minicon port on it, you can now use this on Armada, Evolution Armada Megatron. You can actually plug a Minicon into him because he's actually got a reverse port. So it will go in any of those 5mm ports that's on him. So it will work with him. It's like I said, somebody needs to invent like a 5mm port that's got the Minicon pin in one end and like a normal 5mm peg in the other. Like, so you can plug them into these other characters and give them Minicon ports all over the place. Somebody needs to come up with that. But anyway, that's that. That's my haul. Like I said, it's a modest haul this month. I had a bit of a hassle with my comics. You know, I had to explain that to you so you can understand my frustrations in trying to get that thing delivered with, you know, the Jobsworth Company, Parcelforce, you know, because, you know, they would not leave the package in the safe place. But it was right there. All the driver had to do was go around the side, open the door, leave the package, shut the door, and bugger off, you know, and it would have been done. And it was just a catalogue of errors. And yeah, so that's that. Interesting haul. I've got some good stuff. Got a bunch of comics. Got some really good, you know, current figures that are out at the moment. But right, so let's do this thing that I do at the end of every month. The first and worst. So basically, I will show you my most favourite item and my least favourite item that I got from this month. I do this at the end of every month because it's my way of working out my top bots and my worst bots for the lists I do at the end of the year. And this is the way I do it. So it's my top 12 best bots and top 12 worst bots. But anyway, this one's pretty much a no-brainer. First and worst. So, yeah. This guy. I love this thing. It is so cool. He's so amazing. He looks totally badass. He's got a great transformation. Awesome alt mode. I've got no QC issues with mine. He's absolutely flawless. I love him. I think he's great. He's marvellous. So if you haven't got Studio Series, you know, Rise of the Beast Scourge, why not? He's an awesome figure. I can thoroughly recommend him to anyone. There you go. And the worst. Hello, Carbot Mini Converster. Again, it's largely because of this ugly waffling on the arms. I just don't like. In some ways, Beat Run is worse, but in other ways, this guy's worse. And Beat Run actually looks good in robot mode, and he looks good in vehicle mode. This guy looks good in vehicle mode. I mean, let's put him to vehicle mode quickly. Yeah, so his alt mode's all right. You know, it's like a drop top, you know, sort of Lamborghini type, you know, sports car. It's great, but his robot mode is it's crap. Come on. His robot mode's not that great, to be honest. So, yeah, I think out of all the things I got this month, he's my least favourite thing. I mean, yeah, I could have said it was this guy, but like I said, because he was a freebie, I can't really do that to him because it's not fair. But this guy, I actually paid good money for this. And it really looks like a dog's dinner, doesn't it, in robot mode. So, yeah, that's why he's the worst thing I got this month. And that is that. I've been TFL Wilderness. Hopefully we can wrap this video up. It's coming up to an hour. So, yeah. Do it all again next month. But obviously next month is TF Nation. I will be at TF Nation, obviously. I'm trying to get the Friday off. It doesn't look like I'm going to get the Friday off work, so I don't know what time I'm going to be attending TF Nation on the Friday, because things are difficult at work at the moment. But we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I'm going to TF Nation next month. I will also be buying big Korean figures again tomorrow, because I was only buying these minifigures because it was a cost-cutting exercise because of that £66 pre-order payment that I had to make at the beginning of every month. So yeah, so that's all out of the way. Got my comics. I've ordered I've got issue 2. I've got issue 2 coming, and I will do an unboxing video on it next month. You will see that, because that's very, very important to me, getting that comic at this point in the game. It's very, very important. So I will do a special video for that, I think. But that's been me. I've been to your wilderness. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Stick around for the gallery. I'll catch you all next time. Ta-da.
If you wish to leave a record of your call, please state your message at the sound of the phone.